Hello everyone and welcome back to Story Cubes. This story will be You Are the Reason Why Labels and Warning Signs Exist. So, there once was a magic man who lived out in a tent and would entertain the royalty that lived in the castle far away. This magic man who lived in this tent for almost his entire life would always investigate the woods for a lightning in a bottle. An idea so great that it would make him the most famous magic man ever. And so while everyone was asleep in the kingdom, he would fly in his private jet and he would look for the lightning in the bottle, even though in the kingdom no one has ever seen or heard of a private jet before. And he would always search high and low. He would walk barefoot in the woods sometimes to find his lightning in the bottle. Okay, that works. So one day, as he was in the woods where he lived in his tent, he saw a shooting star, and he knew that he would be able to make a wish, and he would be able to discover instantly what his lightning in a jar would be. And even though everyone thought of him as a loser, he felt that this was definitely going to be the thing that would make him a winner. So after calculating what kind of wish he should make, he weighed his options, and before the shooting star went out, he made his wish as fast as possible. And his wish was to be able to find an apple that when bitten into, it would be able to regenerate itself. So no matter how many times you ate this apple, it would always reform itself. Now, he opened this, the apple appeared in front of him almost instantaneously. And he ripped open the apple and took out its seeds and planted them because he knew that an apple that could regenerate itself could only create trees that would grow apples that could regenerate themselves. So he went back home and he started planting the trees. And before he knew it, he had an entire orchid of trees, apple trees. But then came the bugs, and the bugs started eating away at the apples. And while he slept, these bugs starts eating all of the apples, and he was happy because these bugs took on the ability to regenerate themselves, which gave him the idea that with both these apples and insects that can regenerate when eaten, he would be able to travel the land and sell these bugs and apples to people. And even though they thought he was only doing this as entertainment and that he was still a loser, he was still making quite the fortune of selling bugs that you can eat that can regenerate and apples that you can eat that can regenerate. And everyone ended up looking for other help because it was the bugs would regenerate in their stomach and would start crawling around inside their stomach. And they then realized that this man, even though it seemed like it was a good idea at the time, he had cursed the world with insects that after eaten can regenerate inside your stomach. The end. I could actually see that in a D&D campaign. An insect that if you eat, it can regenerate in your stomach and you could feel it in your stomach moving around. I could see that in a Dungeons and Dragons encounter. Okay, I just now realized I did not give it a proper ending. I had to re-look up the thing, and it says you are the reason why labels and warning signs exist. So real quick, one final roll, because I forgot, I was so obsessed with the bugs that I forgot what the theme of the story was supposed to be. Alright, so while everyone was injured, he then realized what kind of a nightmare he had made. And so all throughout the land, they had to search for all the places that he had sold those apples and bugs. And they had to burn down the trees that he had grown. And they knew that the key to survival was to also burn down his plane. And they sent a message far and wide, a warning not to eat these apples and bugs. And so this man who lost his orchard and home had to then live under a bridge because he realized that these warnings and label signs were made only for him. And then there was a bounty on his head. There was a bounty on his head to find him, and they never did. The end.